Okay, so it's me. It is, let's see here, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 7/5/2025, and I just figured I'd come on and do a Tropics update. This time I'm going to kind of do a recording of this so I don't bore everybody to death on these tropical updates. But hope everybody's doing well. It's very early in the morning, and this is the only time that I seem like I can get on here and do these updates and do the stuff here. Anyways, Saturday night, early Sunday morning, don't forget to check out the live. I'll be going live, I don't know, anywhere between one-ish, somewhere about that early Sunday morning to do the true crime stuff. But right now we're going to focus on the tropics because there is some activity going on. Earlier video we did on the tropics was a live, and we kind of went through what was going to kind of happen down there around Georgia. Very, very, very technically Western Atlantic, but the eastern seaboard of the United States, especially down south, and looks like that's where the activity is going to be. So let's get right to the map. So what I'm going to do. Also, there's a horrible flooding issue going on in Texas. I may cover that tomorrow night too with what's going on down there in Texas. Let's do. Hold on a second. Let me present the screen here. It is hurricane season, so this is I don't want to say it's typical, but it's kind of now's the time you're going to want to start trying to prepare for this stuff because I think it's going to be a fairly active year. Like I said, I'm not a professional at this, but I've been covering hurricanes and dealing mainly with hurricanes and especially the intertropical convergence on stuff for too long. 40 years, easy. So let's share a screen here. I'm going to bring up the map here. And this is going to be the it goes 19. This is the Atlantic sector here. This is basically the U.S. Atlantic coast here. But I like to bring up this one here because it's a little bit closer to where we need to be at this moment here. So basically where I am here is in the New England region here, and today is Saturday, so looks like it's going to get pretty warm here over the next couple of days. We do have a ridge of high pressure here again that's kind of going to be a big player in this storm here. But as of up here, it's going to get really warm, and that's what I like. But when we get to the water vapor imagery, you'll be able to see this whole system a little bit better. But this is the player here. You have basically a huge dome of high pressure here, which is going to be bringing in most of the heat to where we are. But this is also going to prohibit this storm from moving very much because this system is going to be kind of locked in here with this high pressure here to the north, and then this high pressure off what they call the persistent high pressure over the Atlantic Ocean, and depending on where that sets up. You also have this low that just passed off the coast a couple days ago here. So this is a player too. It's not the greatest player in the world in this, but all of these two high pressures here, this one here and this one here, are acting as kind of like a steering current for this system here. And since it can't go north here for the next 24 or 48 hours here, so until this system here kind of slowly moves off to the east here, this is going to allow this to come up into this region here. The big thing to know here is it was a little bit better defined yesterday. It's not this is there's definitely something going on here. Earlier in the week we had a huge area low pressure here that was coming down from a front here. And this system here is supposed to kind of pivot off of that broad area low pressure here. So, but it seems like it's kind of, if there's any circulation at all, it's kind of way down in here. And hold on a second. Let me put up the longitude and latitude lines here. Okay, so So if you look at the longitude and latitude lines, it's kind of down in here somewhere. If there's anything going on, and the majority of the cloud cover is kind of off to the north of this system, and it's not really organized at all yet. It's just kind of, I don't even know if there is a center of circulation here. I'll check it out later with the uh water vapor, but you can kind of outflow here a little bit. But like I said yesterday, it looked a little bit better. But again, they're expecting this to kind of kind of circulate into this center of circulation here and then kind of drift, because right now it's basically just not moving at all. It's just stationary, just sitting there. You can see that's why I put up the longitude and latitude lines here. There's really no movement in it. It's just kind of sitting there. These are all just high cirrus clouds here. So, but this outflow is a little bit, it looks like there's a tiny bit of outflow here. But you're not really seeing that twist, that turn that you normally see with, but this is forecast to become a tropical storm as it kind of meanders here into the Gulf Stream. It picks up a little bit more of the warm water, but let me change. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to do it this way here. Everybody's doing well. Can't believe I have 2 days off this week. That's amazing. That's a first in a while. All right, so I'm going to go here first. I do want to do let me get out of that for a second here. Stop sharing that. I'll come back to that in a second. But we're going to go here. All right, so this is a lot faster than it used to be back in the 70s, 80s. There's no such thing as computers. At least we didn't have them. All right, so right now it's basically just a tropical depression. But it's tropical depression 3. We've already had 2. We had one over here that basically slammed into Mexico, but that's gone now. And we had the first one was out here. So we would be on this letter C. So whatever that is, I think it's Chantel or something like this. If this does, if this does reach 40 to 45 miles an hour, they'll call this a storm, right? So the next storm will be Tropical Storm Chantel. And then if it, by some strange miracle, gets to, hurricane status, it'll still maintain the name Chantel. So this is the coordinates right now. This is the second advisory on this. This was done Saturday, July 5th at 2 a.m., so a few hours ago. Current sustained winds, 30 knots, 35 miles per hour. Central pressure. It's borderline, it's coming down a little bit. So it's not, this is what I go by basically is the central pressure here. That's 1010 millibars. So that's kind of borderline tropical depression right there. And if you're plotting at home, this is it's located 30.6 north, 78.8 west, and it's basically just not going anywhere. It's stationary. It's just sitting there. It's just and that may be a problem. But what I wanted to do, let's go to see the water temperatures here, because that's whoops, I do it all the time. So we'll do the analysis. What I want to do is get water temperatures here in the Gulf Stream here. And you'll see, obviously the darker colors here is warmer than say the yellows here. So if you look, this is the Gulf Stream here, which basically just kind of flows up around the eastern side of Florida, just comes up right to about the Virginias here, and then it kind of goes out. You'll see the temperature differences here between New England here and the jet stream. So if this storm, this is Florida here, sorry, I probably could make this bigger if I really wanted to. So that's it. I'm going to rock this a little bit here. Okay, so you see right in here, Um, say Georgia, South Carolina, the Outer Banks, South Carolina, Hilton Head's right there. And then this is going up to the Jersey coast here. You'll see right in here, right at the very western Atlantic here. It's 28-ish. So that's about 80, 82 degrees, maybe pushing 83, 84 in here. So this is where the warm water is. So if this storm, kind of meanders into this warmer zone in here, it could strengthen a little bit and could get more fuel because that's what these storms need is the warmer, tropical, moist. I mean, that's what they breathe on that. That's what they live on that stuff. So, if it was up in here, the Northeast, it would basically just be what they call a subtropical. It loses all of its tropical characteristics. It's still low pressure. It'd still be a low pressure, but it's not. It's not. It has no more tropical characteristics. The warm water's gone. So right here, you'll see this jet stream here, and I wanted to show this because the water temperatures here are pretty good. It's what you want. There's a little bit of an area here right to the very north of Florida here on the eastern side that's a little bit cooler than that. But I don't think it's going to have a chance to tap into that. So, but that's the water temperatures, and I'll go back for a second here, and we'll go to the anomaly. So it's like one above here, but you'll see this little bit of cool water here, right up around Jacksonville, the coast, right in Jacksonville, Florida. Here. It's a little cooler there, so I don't think this is going to be a hurricane. It might be. If it does, it's going to be a very like a weaker hurricane, but still, this is going to probably be a pretty good rain producer. So I wouldn't rule out heavy tropical rains, obviously. All right, so let's go back here, see if I'm still live. How long have I been here? 12 minutes already. Okay. So let's, what I want to do here is shut this down. And we're going to go to a different map here. Second here. This picture behind me, I think this was 2 years ago. But it's flipped. So I can't figure out how to reflip that. it's actually mirror affected it backwards. But this is the one that formed here and then moved this way. But technically it's backwards, so it formed here and went that way. All right, so let's share the screen again. All right, so I do want to go to let me go to the water vapor. All right, so this gives me, I always go by this a little bit more than other people that do these things because for some reason the water vapor gives me a better visual of what's going on here in the atmosphere. Actually, I'm going to go up a level here because a little bit confusing to everybody here. All right, so that's better. All right, so as you see, let me try to center this a little bit. So you see this low pressure here. Low pressure spins counterclockwise. High pressure will kind of turn or kind of move the opposite direction. So you have high pressure. This is the high ridge here that's going to move in here to New England, which is going to create a lot of heat. And this dry air here, this yellow stuff is basically dry air from this high pressure here. So this is going to slowly start to move to the east here. This is heading off. That's why we got rain the other day, and it's been kind of cooler here. But this is departing. So now you have a new guy in town, which is going to be this guy here. But this is the system that's going to prohibit this system here from moving north. And you also have, and I'll probably show that too if I have time, the Bermuda high or the Atlantic high out here. So it can't go this way. Can't go due north. So it's going to kind of sit in here for a little while these other systems figure out what they're doing. And then once this high pressure leaves here, it's probably just going to curl off. Um, it'll probably hit anywhere probably between, I'd say, northern. But if you live anywhere from, I'd say at this point, southern, uh, very, very southern tip of South Carolina, all the way up to the North Carolina Outer Banks here, even into Virginia here. Um, almost said Washington. Uh, I definitely watch this over the next 24 to 48 hours because, you know, I would, it's just me trying to, you know, be the skeptical one here, but I wouldn't rule out any type of especially on the either what they call the dirt side of this, maybe getting some swells up in here because the longer this sits over open water here without moving, the more it's going to have a chance to really stir up these waters here. And even if it is not technically a hurricane, when it hits land here, you're still going to get the surge from this because this is more than likely going to become a circulation here or a tropical storm. So that's going to really sink these millibar these bands in. It's going to get more compact and more compact and more compact. So um and I've seen tropical storms like this here produce more problems than category 3, category 4 hurricanes. So um just be careful of this here because this is definitely going to be a rain producer for sure. And you might get some, dirty side swells here. But let's go to I do want to do one here. We're gonna do hold on a second. Let's do the entire tropical Atlantic here. I'm not going to be able to get it visible. All right. So as you see, there's really nothing else going on. I mean, the Atlantic Ocean right now is pretty cold. This blue here is cold water. So this is going to have to change quite a bit in the next couple of months or so for us to get any. I mean, if something comes off here and kind of skirts down below this and then heads up this way, you might have a problem. But right now, right in this general area here, it's really cold. I haven't seen water like this in the Atlantic in a while. Um, and then in the Gulf of Mexico here, there's this area here, the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico, America, how whatever you want to call it, is to me is just a hotbed of activity right now. I would not be surprised in the next, week or so if something tries to form down in here again, because it's just been a persistent low pressure here for forever, seems. Uh, there's nothing here. I'll keep an eye on this here, but I just wanted to give everybody a broad overview of what's going on in the Atlantic because it is hurricane season. Last year, we had uh, it was a record for the uh, strongest hurricane ever in the Atlantic in the earliest part of the season. I think it was, what was it, June, late June. We got, all right, so that was last year. We don't care. Take a look at the overall. uh, I think I can do that here. Down in here, see this cluster of stuff here? It's doesn't look like much here, but sometimes with these things here, they'll break off and they'll form over into the uh, Western Caribbean here, and then just kind of migrate. This seems to be happening a lot past couple of years here, so keep an eye on that for sure. But immediate concern is this study here, and you can see there's some. Let me put. Hold on a second. Let me put. I've been having a lot of issues with nowhere. All right. So if you look here, this is just zooming into this specific region here. You'll see there's some you know, um, storms around kind of like a center or thing, but everything's kind of off to the east of it. Like it's if there's a center, it's kind of right down in here somewhere, and all of the storm or any of the activity, the clouds are way off to the east of it, and not really into the center here. But that could change pretty quickly, when we get the daylight coming up here soon and water temperatures rising again from just the daylight in the Western Atlantic here. Things can change pretty quickly. So let's quickly go to a forecast and then I'll get out of here. So let's stop sharing that. Hopefully I shared that. All right, let's go here. Let me light the cigarette first. And it's freezing right here now. I can't believe it's going to be 90 today. It doesn't feel like that now. I want my summer, damn it. I want really, really warm, humid, muggy, sticky air. And it's not happened. All right, so call me crazy, but that's what I want. That's exactly what I want. So let's go here, uh, and we'll do quick tonight, early tomorrow morning. I might towards the end of the live get some sort of buoy uh, readings too. So normally buoys don't lie. So let's. All right, so we're going to get a couple of. Hopefully, we're going to get a couple of storm tracks here. I can get late yesterday, see if they have that. So we'll do single model first. Okay, so I have today. Uh, so we'll do 7 day. This is a single model. This is GFS, is the American model here. So we saw this the other day. That's the same thing. Um, so let's see if I can stop this here. Right there. So, okay. Why didn't it stop? Thank you. All right. So where are we? We were Saturday. This is about 12 hours out from right this very second, I think. So you'll see this. And when you get the circle in here, I think that's indicating that it's probably going to be a storm at that point. So this is later on today, about 12 hours from now. So let's start this again. What? So we'll do this. So 24 hours from right now, um, which is tomorrow morning, we're going to go and we're going to be right in here. Um, so they're still being this. So here's the longitude and latitude. So this is, um, I want to say, so here's Georgia here, there's South Carolina there. So right in between South Carolina and the border of North Carolina here. Is that what that is? So basically Myrtle Beach. Uh, so let's go one more. I hate life. Yeah, it's Tuesday. And it's not going to move much, right? Like if you notice, I mean, I'm going back here, but we're at Tuesday, 7-8. Um, and this thing is still in here. So, and it's because of this high pressure here and then the high pressure. This is really not going to have a lot. It's going to need something to get and drag this offshore, but you'll see it's still kind of in here by Tuesday. So by Tuesday. So this is going to produce a lot of rain in here. Um, so Sunday, 48 hours, and it's probably going to hit. Um, I don't want to be 100% around Myrtle Beach, but it's looking pretty good there. I've got this on rock now, so it's just going to keep doing that. But if you look down here in the Gulf again, look at this down in here. Um, there might be something forming down in here too again. Um, and this is going to be, let's see here, this is Saturday, Sunday, day, Tuesday. So I'll have to keep an eye on this too. Doesn't look like it's going to go very far, but when things get into the Gulf, you never know. Um, but you'll see here. Um, I want to go back to. Hold on 1 second. Let me get out of here. Let's do the ensemble here. Getting more confusing. So yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be in here for a while. It's going to be. It's going to be very wet here for the next few days here for sure. Uh, but they're pinpointing this path right in about, I think that's Myrtle Beach. I'm not sure. But let me go back. Let me get out of here. I hope I'm still on here recording. I don't know how much time I have recording. Um, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so let's share this here. Okay, so this is the map of the United States here. And you'll see we got heat advisories already up here in New England here. That's from this high pressure here. This was done at 8:34 this morning or yesterday. What's today? Yesterday. 8:34. Okay. UTC. Okay, sorry. So this is they're already kind of giving some warnings here. Tropical storm warning here. Um Charleston, South, is that that's Charleston, South Carolina. There's a Savannah right there. There's Hilton Head. So they got tropical storm watch here for Charleston. Small craft advisory south of that. Tropical storm warnings in the red here. So they're just watches right now. But then you have, of course, your rip current statements here, especially on the western side. But they go all the way up. Um, this is the marine zone. So this is forecast area here between this Savannah there. Let me go back. Can't believe they already have heat warnings here. That's awesome. All right, here, this is where I want it to be here. Okay, so we have depression meandering off the southeast United States coast. Forecast to become a tropical storm later today. So we'll do the rainfall potential first. Um, Okay, so you're gonna have this your bar here, 30 inches way up here. We're not gonna get that. One, two, three, four. So there's gonna be four here. Definitely in the center here. So there's Charleston, South Carolina there. Wilmington. So I was a little off, but it's looking like it's possibly gonna be, I don't know. Um, let's get a cone. Do we have a cone? Probably don't have a cone yet. Okay, so Tropical Depression 3 is expected to produce heavy rainfall across portions of the coastal plain of the Carolinas Saturday through Monday. Storm total, that's a lot. Saturday through Monday, that's 2 days. Storm total rainfall is 2 to 4 inches with local amounts of 6 inches. I don't know. I haven't been really paying attention to how much rain they've gotten. I could probably do that, but I'm not going to do that now. With local amounts of 6 inches is expected, this would result in an elevated risk for flash flooding. So they're, already worried about that kind of. Let's do the messages here. So tropical storm conditions are possible in the watch area beginning Saturday and continuing through Sunday morning. So this is the watch area here. Let's go to the cone. There's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a really huge wind producer. But anytime you have systems like this coming on shore, you always have to worry about the potential of what they call vortices or smaller type tornadoes, especially on the western side um, as they come ashore. So I wouldn't rule out that at all. Not saying that they're going to happen. I'm just saying it's possible. Um, so there's the cone. It's 2 a.m. and it's moved a little to the so 2 a.m. Saturday, right? So it's going to be storm shortly. I don't see it, but I wonder if they sent an airplane in here. Because I did see a little bit of circulation, but I didn't see. It doesn't look too organized to me. But what the hell do I know? 8 p.m. Saturday, you're kind of right here, basically. Yeah, I was right. This is South Carolina here, so it's going to hit probably between. Of course, this cone is probability here, but it's probably going to hit around early in the morning on Sunday, right there. So between, I'd say, Hilton Head and Myrtle Beach, which is right in here. So, but then it's gonna kind of, so from Sunday to Monday, 24 hours. It's still going to be in here, and we all know what happened. I don't think it's going to go as far as Western North Carolina here, but who knows? We all know what happened in Western North Carolina last year. And like I said, I don't know how much rain they've gotten in here, if they've gotten any at all, where they are for drought wise, or um, but like I said, if you live, say, from Savannah all the way up to, I'd say, even I don't want to say Virginia, but um, central, maybe even northern east coast of North Carolina, pay attention to this. But it's not going to be. It's only going to be terrible if people make it terrible, right? Just prepare. It's going to get wet, you know. So we got the current information is maximum staying with 35 miles. So you need 45 to be um, a tropical storm. So that's not that far off. And it's not doing it. It's just sitting there. Stationary. Um, so you got a storm, um, 49. They must have lowered that. I don't know. But don't go by this. Whatever you do, don't go by that. I think they would. I wish they would just change this whole thing and just redo it, because this when they put stuff up like this, people just get complacent. Just it's just a storm. No problem. Don't worry about it. And that's when people unfortunately meet their doom. Okay, so arrival time. Winds are not going to be an issue here. You might see gusts of like 50, 60 miles an hour. That'll bring some trees down though. So earliest reasonable arrival time, tropical storm force winds. I don't think this is gonna be a hurricane when it hits. It'd probably be a strong tropical storm though. So 60, 50, 60 mile an hour winds probably. It's possible though. I don't want to rule out because if it moves anywhere to the west of this cone, to the east of this cone, it could. The longer it stays over the water, for sure. But you got Saturday 8 p.m. here, Saturday 2 p.m., and then Saturday 8 p.m. So that's it. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. I might do another update on this, probably not, because by the time I get up today, it's gonna be probably 5 o'clock. But if it changes at all, I'll probably do something. But just prepare yourself. It's not gonna be horrible. But if it stays around for a while, you're gonna have to probably deal with some flooded streets down there because it doesn't take much to flood streets in that part of the country for sure. So just take it easy. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Hope everybody has a good day. Just stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight around one ish, early Sunday morning. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks.